There are two animals on earth that God identified himself with. These two animals are both leaders. The first one is the eagle. If you read the Constitution of Heaven, you call it the Bible, you will find that throughout that document, God keeps identifying himself with the eagle. He never says that I am the bird of paradise. He never said that I am a pigeon. He only identified himself with this massive, powerful bird called the eagle. You will find in the text of the Constitution words like this: I will bear you up on wings like an eagle. In another place, God says of himself, I, like an eagle, will stir my nest. I shall put you on my pinions like an eagle. In another place, God says, and just like an eagle only gathers around fresh blood, even so the Lord will stir you. He never identifies with the pigeon. The second animal that God identified himself with is the lion. The lion is also the leader of the animal kingdom. So the eagle is the leader of the bird kingdom, and the lion is the leader of the animal kingdom. Even though the lion is not the largest animal in the jungle, he's not the most powerful, he's not the most intelligent, he's not the biggest animal, and yet the lion rules the jungle. The lion is important because the lion destroys all of your excuses for not being the leader. You don't need to be the biggest to be the leader. You don't need to be the strongest or the heaviest or the most powerful or even the most intelligent. And yet you can be the leader. So the lion defies everything that they taught you about leadership. And that's why God himself identifies with the lion. He says, I am the Lion of Judah, not the dog of Judah, not the giraffe, not the elephant of Judah. He identified with this creature that he created. And my question is, why did God identify himself with these two animals so much? The answer is because he put in these two animals certain qualities that make them different from the others. And those qualities are identified as leadership characteristics. That's why it's important to study the lion and to study the eagle. As a matter of fact, these two animals became my personal friends, because it is these two animals that help me to understand myself, to understand God's plan for my life, and to understand how I'm supposed to live. And there are two words I want you to identify with these two animals. The first one, the lion, is the word attitude. The lion is the leader of the animal kingdom because of his attitude. The lion has a deep sense of confidence and courage. He's not afraid of the elephant or the giraffe. He eats the hippopotamus. He destroys the bulls. He somehow has this confidence that he can eat any animal, no matter how big they are, no matter how strong they are. The lion has an attitude of self-confidence. The eagle identified with the word vision. Everybody say vision. What makes the eagle dangerous is God placed in the eagle a capacity in his eyes to see from a distance in detail. The eagle is the only bird on earth. As a matter of fact, it's the only animal on earth who can see 50 times better than a human. The eagle can see 5 miles away in total detail. It's called optica, vision. That's why the eagle is the king of birds. He doesn't have to sneak up on his prey to destroy it. He can see the prey 5 miles away where the prey don't even know he's being seen. And by the time the prey discovers he was being seen, it's too late, because the eagle shoots like a bullet. The power of vision is the success of the eagle. I want to talk to you then about the eagle. He's the king of birds because of vision. And if you are going to become the leader that you were created to be, not only do you need the attitude of a lion, but for you to become the leader that you were born to be, you're going to have an understanding of the qualities and the power of vision. First, let me define leadership again for you, so that you will have a working definition of what a leader is, because you were born to be one, young man. Leadership is defined as the capacity to influence others through inspiration, generated by a passion, motivated by a vision, which is birthed from a conviction produced by a purpose. It's a long sentence, but each word is important. Leadership is the capacity to influence other people through inspiration, not manipulation. So true leaders never manipulate people, they inspire. If anyone tries to control you, they are not a leader. That includes your husband. Anyone who has to control you is not a leader. Might be your boss, might be your teacher in the class, might be your pastor. They are not leaders. Anyone who tries to control another human is not a leader. They are a dictator, an insecure winner. True leaders never control people. They inspire people. And how do they inspire people? Because of their passion. Their passion comes from what? It comes from a vision that they have. They believe in their vision. So it creates a passion in their lives. Where does the vision come from? The vision comes from a deep conviction that the person has about why they were born. They believe they were born to do something important. That's called conviction. And where does that conviction come from? It comes from a discovery of a purpose for your life. That you are not a mistake. That you were not just born to make a living and pay bills and die. That's why leaders don't think about paying bills and worrying about money. Leaders are people who've discovered something more important than a paycheck. Leaders are driven by a sense of purpose and destiny. They believe that they were born to correct a problem, to bring healing to humanity, to change a community, to transform a society, to impact their country. That's leadership. That's why most people today are not leaders. They just want to make a living. Leadership. Some of you pastors are not leaders Because you entered the ministry to make a living. You call it a call. We know it's a catch. You got to ask yourself a question today. Why am I in the ministry? Why? Is there a passion for what I'm doing? Am I willing to die for what I'm doing? Leadership is about a conviction. You can be a preacher all your life and be useless. Leadership is not about personal ambition. It's not about private advancement. Leadership is about a deep conviction about your own purpose in life, that I was born to fix something. I was born to deliver people from something. I was born to make a difference in the world, not just make a living. Are you a leader? Or do you just have a parade? Let me say something very interesting. You may want to remember this. Leaders can never retire. If you can stop doing what you're doing and still be happy, you are not a leader. Because you cannot retire from yourself. And a leader is one who has discovered herself. She has discovered who she was born to be. He had discovered what he was born to do. And you cannot retire from yourself. Conviction, passion, vision. I can talk about each one of these components for the next 10 years and never go home. Wouldn't you like that?